Hello again, everyone. Good morning. I'm Gary Gotzo. Welcome to the Race First coverage of round 5 of the inaugural season, the Velocity Online Racing DW12 Championship Series. Today we come to you from Nashville Super Speedway, where qualifications is just underway. See the ticker at the top, about 4 minutes, 10 seconds left to play. Laps are just starting. We'll see some speeds coming in. We're looking at a clear day or clear evening in the sim. Air temp 65 degrees, track temp 68. So we shouldn't have any temperature issues with the way these cars handle. Humidity at 45%. We're watching Alec Vandenbosch. And that flat black and white machine as he's starting to make his early laps. First lap's coming in. Rafi Eckert, last race winner, 195 flat. So these cars are going to be about 10 miles per hour slower than the R18s we saw yesterday with the IndyCar Series Open guys. Dajinko there at a 195.5. Vandenbosch completed just a 194.9. Seb Kinder 194.3. Ooh, little wall there. And that car's not turning anymore. That's done. I'm watching Matthias Strauss now. Or Matthias, depending on how you want to say it. Here are all the IndyCar records you need to know with about 2 minutes, 30 seconds left to play here in qualifications. Everything's still provisionally up there. Most people are done with their runs. Other people haven't started yet. But IndyCar, or Indy Racing League, and the IndyCar Series raced here from 2001 to 2008. And actually announced last week, matter of fact, actually this week, middle of the week, that they will return to the track later this year for the 2024 NTT IndyCar Series finale. That's going to be great news. Get a new oval, or an oval we haven't seen on the schedule, back. Track record is held by Elio Castroneves. It set that in 2008 with a speed of 204.519. Obviously, we're seeing a little bit off that pace, but that's okay. These cars are, my understanding, is a lot easier to drive versus what I've driven before. This is a very hard oval. It's one of the hardest ovals to drive IndyCars on, in my opinion. And apparently they got a good setup on there that everyone seems to be okay with. But career wins leader here at Nashville are Buddy Lazier, Alex Barron, the late, great Gilles DeFerrin, Tony Kanaan, Dario Franchitti, each with one. Scott Dixon is by far and away the king of Nashville. He has 3 wins, all consecutive from 2006 to 2008. So that means, folks, when everybody comes back in the fall for the NTT IndyCar season, Scotty D will have a 3-win streak on the line here at this track. And we'll see if he can get 4 in a row, separated by more than 10 years. That would be cool. But with that said, let's get into this here. It's about 1:01 remaining here. Start getting a starting lineup here for you. Another thing here interesting about Nashville Super Speedway is that all winners are started in the top 10 in IndyCar history. So starting position, track position is everything here. We've seen that played out also in the IndyCar Series Open guys when they were running here yesterday in that 1 p.m. strength of field race we had on Saturday. Craig Forsyth there. He won that race. He's back again for the VOR series. So it's Altena at the top, 196.2 Eckert. Now 195.8 down the P2. Here's Hugo Gallas trying to get one in here before the time runs out. Jesper Orman is in, but decides to start from the rear with no time. We're looking at about 14 cars to start this race. Not too bad. This is set up to kind of be a fun learning series for the Velocity Online Racing Series. Well, IndyCar series there. And Hugo get one in. I'm not sure if he did or not, but we are griding up. It's time to go racing. Here is your starting lineup. Julian with the pole. Julian actually finished on the podium for the open race yesterday afternoon, so he's got a little bit of extra time here on the track. Rafi Eckert's trying to back up the win from 2 weeks ago, P2. Four-door, Dashinko, P3. Alec Van den Bosch, P4. Craig Forsyth got a good lap in there at the end. Comes up to 5th. Gary Lovern, 6th. Moving on, Seb Kinder, 7th. Matthias Strauss, 8th. Patrick Salvazzi, P9. Jordan Evans joining us, P10. John Christensen, P11. Alexander Bonnie, our benefactor here. I want to thank him. And won't say who it is, but he has a famous family member who actually drove these cars in real life very, very well. Let's just say at that. But Alexander, P12. Moving on, Jesper Orman joining us this morning from Scandinavia, P13. Hugo Gallis did not get that lap in, but we know what he's doing here. We've seen him race, or I've seen him race here from the Lionheart IndyCar Series. He is P14. That is your 14-car field. Everyone just kind of warming up, getting ready, waiting for the pace car to roll out and get that pace lap underway. If you're just joining us, thank you. Good morning. Make sure to click the thumbs up. It's always a good thing there. That's the easiest thing you could do for the channel without being a subscriber. But if you want to subscribe, please do so and click the bell so you don't miss out on weekly reminders of more racing here on Race First, specifically IndyCar racing. We're kind of like your iRacing home for IndyCar racing here on Race First. And specifically the DW12s, we're going to have 3 series of them, it looks like. We got one unannounced yet. I'll bring that back in. I'll talk to that when it becomes finalized. But starting next week, it was pushed back a week, will be the start of the Dark Horse DW12 IndyCar Series there. Now it's called the Dark Horse Racing Series, but their DW12 series will start next week at Kansas, I believe. And we're getting ready to go green. Got the camera on Gary there. Go back up front to our pole center. Is this pace lap is pretty quick here at Nashville. There you see it, 1.33 miles, super speedway, D-shaped in configuration. Concrete is the primary surface. Here we go. Getting ready to go green and waiting, and he's off. Julian gets a big lead. Eckert's now being challenged by four-door. Craig Forsyth already up 2 spots. And now 3 spots as he's side by side with Rafi. Down the backstretch. Everybody looking clean so far. And he pulls in behind Rafi. Rafi looking low on four-door. So we're looking about 47 to 50 laps for the first stint. We'll see how long these guys can go. 4 sets of tires, 3 in the pits, 1 in the car. And every time they stop, pretty much, there's going to be a new set of tires. Tires are king here on this surface here at Nashville. The best way to make hay at this track is you do it in the first couple laps, and then everyone kind of settles in. And here comes Seb Kinder on the high side, trying that high line. Watch out, there is a magnet for these Indy cars in the exits of turn 4 and turn 2 walls there. You want to keep it off there. Those cars just like to float on up there and smack it. That way, a little bit through, a little bit better this time. Go back up front and let's bring up the tree here. Give you an idea where everyone is, what the lap count is. There you go. Julian with already a second lead over Rafi. A little bit further back, Salvazzi and Strauss racing. There's a side-by-side, Orman and Christensen. Orman not in his traditional colors that we're used to seeing him in his IAR car. He's in a bit of a, not a retro, but it is definitely a livery that was used in the late 90s. Right around the split, that's what Michael drove, but it was all black. I don't recall if there was ever a full white version. That's the Halloween special. So Orman making a run up, already 3 spots up. Jordan Evans just kind of taking her easy in the back there in the Thrustmaster Dallara. He is down 4. And these cars are a handful to drive here. This is not an easy track, and this is not an easy car to drive here. Now, one of the reasons why it's not an easy car to drive here, these are fixed setups. And unlike the IR18, there's our leader, Julian Altena. The IR18, iRacing has enabled the in-car tools for the IR18. So you have the front roll bars, you have the weight jacker available to use. Even the fuel management system you have available to use, and that I believe you have nothing to use other than might be brake bias in these cars right here. It's been a while. I need to go back and double check that, but really it's left to the driver, your foot and your ability to kind of bring these cars around. Now the setup is kind of a base setup, kind of make fair for everybody, but how you approach the track is key on how well you do in the race. So if this particular service, if you are kind of a to-the-wall driver, you're going to wear your tires out really, really quick. If you kind of lift coming into the corners and easy in, easy out, or easy in, fast out, kind of the Kyle Petty way of, and the only reason I remember that is that's how he did Dover, and this is a Dover-style type surface and track. Not exactly, but you know what I mean. That's how he kind of approached tire management on these tracks. Hopefully that's my one and only NASCAR reference this entire broadcast. 10 of 113. We're a little bit shorter than yesterday's IndyCar Series Open guys race. That was 115, so we're a little bit shorter here. Let's go back to Craig. Here's your winner from that race. iRacing does a horrible job at naming their series. They call it the Open Series. Used to just simply known as the Indy Open Series. Or colloquially known as the Indy Open Series in the community, and accepted as that, but they decided they wanted to call it the IndyCar Series Open. so it doesn't make much sense. Everyone's kind of in that, well, we thought it was just after a few laps of the goodness of the tires run out, about almost a quarter of the way through a first stint. And everyone's just kind of separated by, a tenth, 2 tenths, and tires are worn out already. So that's a bit of a parade. Do want to show you while we have a moment here. Get back up to Julian. Here is the Season 1 remaining schedule for the series. Nashville, and then Pocono next week, and Indianapolis Motor Speedway to round out the season. Julian should have, though. I don't know if Julian knows about the history of the Pocono Mountains, and being that as the honeymoon capital, used to be the honeymoon capital of the world, but Pocono would be a more appropriate race to be done Valentine's Day week, but maybe he didn't know that. I'm a bit of an older guy, so maybe only I would know that, but that is the schedule. 2 crown jewels to run out the remainder of the season. And let's bring up the schedule for next season. Here you go. 6 rounds. Michigan, Gateway, Texas again, Daytona. Yes, we are going to do some draft racing here. Indianapolis again, and Auto Club to round out the season. Auto Club, as I like to know fondly, and of course rest in peace, as Fontana. Back to the action on hand on track. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Good morning. Lap 116 of 113. Excuse me, lap 16 of 113. Wishful thinking. Lap 17 now of 113 from the Nashville Superspeedway. You are watching the VOR DW12 Championship Series. And let's go back. We have a pass for position. Not the only car passing right now is Jesper Orman. He is now up 6 spots, just getting around Gary Lovern. And that green VOR car, I don't know if Julian, and that he's not a member of Team VOR there. He's team leader. Julian's there. Gary is. I don't know if Julian's told him about the. Gary, very hard in, slow off. It looks like Jesper's lifting going in and is very quick off. But I don't think anyone's told Gary about the myth, the legend of the green car. But still, he drove to a top 10 finish last week, so it served him well. Watching Jesper Orman. White cars are often underused here in the series. Everything is kind of colorful, but there's nothing like a plain, pretty close to a plain white wrapper out there. So easily seen on the racetrack. It catches the camera. Go back to P2. Ralphie Eckert, he has one of the better liveries out there. That's a catching one right there. That Lerner Energy entry. He is the points leader, as a matter of fact, in the championship. We won't have a graphic for that, but he is a leader by 29 points over Julian and a leader by 38 points over Dojinko. All right, let's reset that. For some reason, Sim Racing Hub was not being kind to me. Eckert is the leader by 11 over Julian and 19 over Dojinko and 46 over Craig Forsyth. So we got to keep the battle. We got to watch Jesper here. Jesper is the only one making any type of progress right now. Oh, Seb Kinder on the outside, tried to get some of it back. Not going to be able to get that all back. So next up for Seb is Vandenbosch. Let's ride with Seb and see how he's doing this. Yeah, dropping 2 gears. I think Vandenbosch might have kissed the wall there. Got a battle for the lead. There we go from the Race vs. One airship. Ralphie Eckert ran down our leader. Julian might be taking it easy, doing some tire management. Julian's a battle lane off the bottom. Eckert is on the bottom. Not sure, maybe Julian did hit the wall. He's running rather low on the racetrack. There he is on the bottom again. Dojinko is starting to run up on him. Let's get back down to ground level and see if there's anything wrong. Check the ad blockers on the side. Are they bent up? Maybe. But the way he's falling back, let's see. He has a purple lap, but he is a second slower than just about everybody else right now. I think he might be experiencing issues. We missed that. Trying to get a good look on that side of the car. I think the ad blocker is bent. Tough to see on that side of the car. See if we can get another camera view that gives us that side of the car. Yeah, I think it is. Could be wrong. There's Seb, might be kissing in the back there. Here comes Jesper. Let's check the cams on Julian's car here and see what the issue is. Left front is looking good. Right front, left rear. Not seeing it. Yes, there it is, right there. There you can see clearly on the side. He has been into the wall. So a small error there on the part of our pole sitter and former leader, Julian Altinas. That turns the lead and the battle of the championship back over to Rafi Eckert. We'll get the camera on him. There he is, taking the lead just a couple laps ago. We're now almost to our first, about halfway through the run, a little more than halfway through the run. About 3/5 through the run, I'm guessing right now about, and we're coming up on pit stops here in the next 20 laps or so. We got a Let's Go Eckert in chat, yeah. Rafi going to be doing last race winner 2 weeks ago. Trying to go back-to-back. Julian right now hemorrhaging positions as he's getting passed by Matthias Strauss on the high side. Strauss in that Taylor Swift car. Let's go through the field. Alexander Bonney getting a position on Silvazzi. Silvazzi might have been into the wall too. We'll check him next time he comes around the front stretch. We're on a zoomed view, so we'll see. Or he's just taking that time, or he overdrove the first couple laps with those tires and smoked them. Yeah, and his right side pod is bashed in. So he and Julian are going to be on equal ground here very, very shortly. So let's do P2. There's Doshenko, keeping it clean and might I say, green. Greg Forsyth moving him up to third. Kinder on the apron there, coming out of pit road. Jesper Orman up 9 spots now as he is moving himself into the top 5. Vanden Bosch coming up on him. Boney getting the position on Julian there. And that AMD-sponsored Italian Dallara. Julian wants it back. He's like, nope. Boney, going to take him on the high side. Julian's like, nope. I'm going to slide up right in front of you. Flash. The dirty air there. Boney staying up high. Might get a run down the front straight, and he does. Go to the inside. High line on the corner exit certainly is the faster way for these cars, but he got the position cleanly. Here's the car we want to watch. Jesper is going to be up on Craig here. Near equal skill set here. These guys are really, really good at whatever they drive. And they're really, really good on ovals. And I know for a fact, and I haven't seen Jesper drive the 12s too much, but I just know that he is a good driver based upon what we've seen his ability in several of the open leagues and open races I've seen him in. But I know for a fact that a proven winner in Craig Forsyth in the Lionheart IndyCar series, on actually it's their Speedway series, which features the DW12. 2 years ago was the last season. Of course, last year was the broadcast ban, and they did not run him then, and they're not going to run him this year. However, there might be a split-off league, and it might be here on Race First. Keep your noses peeled for that. And then hopefully we're looking back for another Lionheart season return in 2025. Right now, watching a battle for third. Jesper Orman. Oh. And again, seeing a lot of puffs of smoke coming off that turn 4 wall. Not sure if they're really getting into it. That's a netcode activation. Van Bosch falling back. Van Bosch hitting pit road. Gary Lover now up to 5th. So far, the green car is immune to anything right now. So Vazzy move him up to 9th as Van Bosch on pit road. Here comes Van Bosch down pit road. Now you see back in the day when these cars ran, and then actually these cars actually still do run, the tubs are used on the IR18, and it's an IR18 aero kit that's been slapped to them. But as you see, they had an LED readout on the roll bar there. Let's see if we can get as he missed his spot. He lines up. So that also would tell the position, and it would also tell everyone how long their pit stop was. And it would also tell Alec is done. And he might have some damage on the side of his car too. But it also tell people when they were on push to pass, when they are on road courses. So back when push to pass first came in. Back in and down and away. Maybe had to momentarily pop out, change the setting. A leisurely stop there for Alec Van Bosch. Little early. He might be able to make it to the end. We'll see. Meanwhile, back up front, Rafi Eckert. All by himself by 3.5 seconds over Doshinko. But the battle on the racetrack right now is battle for third still between Forsyth and Orman. That's Evans right behind him. He's not involved in this, but he has a front row seat for the point for this, at least this point in time. Let's watch Jesper here. We ride along. He might just be cruising now. If he can't pass, maybe do some, well, no, I think he's going to make an attempt here. Getting really close. Going to go to the inside. I think Craig gave him room. And then see, Craig did the CD and take it. Went ahead and shut the door. Yeah, little pops you hear. Those are down shifting. Probably from, oh, Doshinko, I think, might have hit the wall there, the way he came off it.
You ordered an in-race report to Gary?
I heard someone at the front door. There goes Doshinko into pit road. Julian, how goes it? It looks like you had a little wall damage.
Yeah, I'm not good at this track, apparently. I'm good until I'm not. And then, yeah, it was all over there. My right front is damaged.
I keep saying this is a hard track. This is, I remember when it's like one of the last super speedways that's been released, or most recent super speedway has been released here on the service, and I remember I was excited for it because the Indy Racing League and IndyCar series ran here, and I wanted to run an IndyCar here, and I drove the IndyCar on here for the first time. I'm like, this is hard. This is a hard track.
It's harder than Road Atlanta. But yeah, I got a right front suspension damage. It's not meatball levels of bad, but it's bad enough that I'm like a second off the pace right now. So, yeah.
Yeah, we think Silvazzi might have had a similar incident. He's showing some damage on the on that right side pod as well, and I also believe Van Bosch is showing some damage there on the right side pod. A lot of cars, we're seeing a lot of puffs of smoke on cars coming off of corner 4. And again, we're not sure if that's actual contact, or if it's just the net code kicking off a possible collision. But one car that's not having a problem right now, Jesper Orman, from the back to the front now because of pit stops, your leader over Craig Forsyth, who's now second. Strauss up to third. Eckert coming off of pit road is now fourth. So Eckert pitted at lap 52. Is that enough to get him to the end?
Well, I just ran out of fuel because I was distracted listening to you, so...
Okay, so Julian is out of fuel at lap...
51 laps.
51 laps.
51 laps.
That's going to be another stop probably, and splash and go kind of there toward the end, if we get any cautions. Lovern on pit road. And I believe the is the rule set today to use the pit road entry on the backstretch, or they can exit off of 4, enter off of 4?
Turn 4. I just entered in turn 3 because I was out of fuel. So.
Yeah. There he is, wheeling it down to that spot there. Getting topped off. Okay, here comes Jesper Orman. Did he get down to... Yes, he got down to speed there. Very abrupt off the banking onto the flat asphalt surface. Now he's coming down to his stall, which is actually the very first one on pit road that he's going to reach. Or maybe the second one there. Yeah, Gallas might have had the first one. They both started on the last row. Standard service possibly here for Orman. Tires down and away at lap 56.
Oh, car feels a lot better after the 17 seconds repairs.
So he's going to try to do this in one stop. Jesper is.
I don't think you can make that, to be honest, because if he pits now, it's going to be lap 1.6, so he's still going to be 7 laps short. He's going to have to splash and go at the end.
I got him pitting at lap 56, so I go 56 times 2, puts him at lap 112.
Oh, right. Sorry, yeah, I'm a couple laps down. That's fine.
That's right. But
he's going to have to
save a little bit. Yes, you're right. He's absolutely going to have to save a little bit. Can he do that? I know he can on the IR18. IR18 makes things a lot easier with the engine management, but you're going to have to do it with your right foot here. A lot of lifting. So right now, Eckert is your leader. He resumes the lead back after the pit stops. Forsyth putting the move on Orman, getting the position. I was suspecting that's because Orman now has the save. Forsyth is pitted a lap earlier than Orman. So Forsyth a lot earlier than Orman. So Forsyth actually has the save too. Eckert, I'm not sure how he's got a big lead. He's got an 8-second lead. So he can do a lot of lifting and a lot of saving, but he pitted at 53. That puts him at 106, and that's about a 6 laps short. Can he save 6 to 7 laps of fuel just by leading right now? We'll ride alongside on his roll bar here. Right on. Let's see if we'll hear him lifting. Grabbing gears. Not a lot of lifting.
You just said a 24.3, so
yeah.
I don't think he's saving.
Yeah, and he does have the purple lap with a 24 flat. Give you an idea of what a 24 flat is. Here's a best lap is a 193.1. A little bit slower than qualification pace. About 10 miles per hour. Actually about 12 miles per hour off what the R18s were qualifying at when we were doing the broadcast yesterday. They're up at the 205s. They're breaking the existing track record. Give you a last lap readouts here too. Give you what everyone's doing, managing these tires. We're about a quarter of the way, or a third of the way. No, take that back. 1/5 of the way through the stints for a lot of these guys. Only 10 laps in. A lot of other people did 50 lap stints near to it.
Or a little over it, like I did.
Yep. Your leaders, Eckert, Forsyth, Orman, Doshinko, Strauss, Lovern. Lovern moving up to 5th. Strauss, there's a battle on the racetrack right now. Oh, Strauss in the grass. Now, that's not going to bring out the caution because he's not blocking anything. Now, if he goes sideways when he rejoins, that will bring out the caution. Back underway. So, while we got a moment here, Let's check out what happened to Strauss. Let's go back in the Wayback Machine and check out him hitting. I don't think he hit the wall. I think this is one of those situations where the back end just comes around on you on its own on exit of corner 4, and whoop, there it is. That's exactly what happened. Nice big grassy area where you can recover. Hopefully not a lot of damage to the under tray. Gets it woed up, spun around, aimed in the right direction, and away he goes. Back to live action. Go ahead.
Gary, I will say, well, what probably happened to Matthias is he was overdriving the right sides into turn 4. That way he was sliding all the way in turn 4, and once you kind of slide through a corner, it's very hard to get the car back up. And that's probably what happened and made him lose the rear end, because the tires were just kind of screeching for grip.
Yeah,
and, we just let go on him.
Pretty common when you overdrive these cars, certainly in the exits of turn 2 and 4, you'll see that happen. And there's a lot of grassy area here, so you can hopefully have plenty of time to try to recover your car and keep it off the wall. But if cars do hit the wall, depending on proximity to the racetrack, I guess, is when iRacing will throw the caution. But no caution here.
Oh, there's a position up for grabs. I'm going to focus again, Gary. I'll leave you to it.
All right.
I'm going to chase down Jordan Evans.
All right. Our in-car reporter back at it. So I'm currently watching Gary Lovern, who's moved up into the top 5. Great run for him. And Alexander Bonney, our benefactor here, he is up to P6, just very easily driving the car, keeping it off the wall, keeping it between the lines. A very Gary-like strat, if you ask me. That's my strat, the Gary strat, not Gary Lovern strat, Gary Gotso strat. The key to the Gary Gotso strat is keep everything in front of you, stay on the lead lap, and everything will come to you eventually. So by the end of this race, Bonney might actually be, depending on what's going on with these lead drivers, he might be fighting for, well, he is in the fight. He's going to be fighting for a top 10 here. He's 9 seconds behind Lovern, so there's no immediate battle on the racetrack. But if something happens, he's in the top 5. If something happens to someone else, and he doesn't run him down, but they managed to plow to the wall. Bad pit stop, speeding on pit road, you name it. Or maybe Boney has a more robust pit strategy. Maybe he can make it. Boney did pit at 53, so he's going to have to do some fuel saving or get the splash there at the end. We'll see. But that's how you could walk yourself into, by strategy, a top 5. Matthias Strauss has recovered. He is still on the lead lap. No, he's down a lap, excuse me. As well as Boney is down a lap as well, sorry. There are 5 cars on the lead lap right now. Lovern is the last car. There is Lovern. Lovern, relation to Eckert from Lovern. Eckert is 7 seconds behind Lovern. Back to the leader. And he has a lapped car in front of that. It's Julian. Julian actually got the position on Jordan Evans, so move Julian up into the top 10. It is a time for a steak dinner for everybody then. And Eckert on by, putting Julian another lap down. 3 laps down currently to the leader. Quickly gone by, 75 of scheduled 113. Rafi Eckert is your leader. Want to thank everyone for joining us. If you're enjoying Race First coverage of the VOR IndyCar DW12 Championship Series and you respect the stream, please do us a solid. Make sure you support us by subscribing. And while you're at it, don't forget to smash like and click the bell so you don't miss out on future Race First iRacing broadcasts. Top 5, Eckert, Forsythe, Zashenko, Orman, and Lovern. I think everyone's going to have to stop, possibly, with the exception of Orman and maybe Forsythe. We'll see how everyone is saving fuel. Maybe even Eckert, too. If Eckert can save that much fuel. He is now 24 laps into his run, halfway through He stopped at 53 last time. He is lap 24 this time on the stint, so halfway through. Keep seeing puffs of smoke at the exit of corner 2 there. Not really sure who's hitting it. If they're actually hitting it. Netcode with IndyCars are the worst on this service. Maybe short of one of the Formula 1 cars or the IR01 or some of the other really, really fast formulas. Because it's predictive code. It's predicting whether you're going to hit that wall or not. And at the speeds they're going, they are going faster than the average car on the surface. That predictive code makes them think, oh, they're going to hit, so I'm going to animate a puff of smoke here, maybe generate some damage on the car, and when in reality they're not hitting at all. You see Eckert keeping it way off the wall. Very good. Very safe. I mean, he has 10 seconds over Forsyth, so he has plenty of time and plenty of track room here to save fuel if he can. Everybody should have, for the most part, 2 more sets of tires in the pit. So everyone has 4. Start with the one on your car, and then 3 more in the pit. So if we do have a caution, even if they want to at the end do a splash and go, if it's less than 5 seconds in the pits, there we see Eckert getting a little squirrely. He's got some dirty air in front of him from Savazzi. Savazzi stays high, Eckert underneath, putting Savazzi another lap down there. But if they do have and typically it takes about 5 seconds for an Indy car to change tires. The reason why is there's a single lug, impact lug. There's a man on each tire, and there are pneumatic jacks under the car. So it just, as soon as it hits pit road, one of the crewmen sticks in the pneumatic hose that puts the jacks down. Car rises. Each of the wheel changers hits the single hub, pulls off the tire, puts on a new one. That all happens within 5 seconds, give or take. If they're going to sit there on pit road and get more than 5 seconds worth of fuel, you might as well go ahead and get new tires. If it's less than 5 seconds worth of fuel, then I would say go get fuel only and then finish the race on those last couple laps on those existing laps of tires. And Zavazzi, I think, might have got the wall for sure that time. Let's ride along with them there, and let's see what happens. Let's go back a lap here to the Wayback Machine. And let's watch. Well, everything but the sound. Everything but the sound. So there are several construction engineers on the racetrack right now trying actively to knock down the turn 2 and turn 4 walls. Currently are not successful. 86 of 113. Not much has changed at the front. It is still Eckert Forsyth. Back 11 seconds. He is fuel saving. Dozhinko, he might be fuel saving. He pitted at lap 50, so that's a long haul. I don't think he can save 13 laps, so I think he's going to have to stop again. Jesper has only saved 1 lap, and I think he's doing that right now. If you want more IndyCar Oval action, make sure to catch us on a Race First this Tuesday, 7:15 p.m. Eastern Time, for the IndyCar Oval, or IndyCar, well, they call it the IndyCar Oval Series. Used to be kindly known as Indy Fixed, with the IndyCar Oval Series. That will be at Kansas. We expect that track always invites good racing, good close racing from these cars. Another puff of smoke there in corner exit 4. Not sure who it was. Here comes Jesper, thinking about taking a 3 wide. Jordan Evans staying low, trying to stay out of the way. Very good work on his part. Now, this is the battle. This is an active battle on the racetrack for position. This is for the second step. This is Dozhenko and Orman. So, what happened to Eckert? I think, did Eckert stop? Yeah, he stopped at 89. So Eckert made his last pit stop a little early, hoping that maybe he can get the undercut with these new tires. He's going to have to push. And he is pushing, folks. He just went purple to 24.2. Actually, that was, you know what, that might have been his out lap. Maybe we overstated his purple lap, but he still holds the purple lap. But he's pushing hard, and he had the, that time by 24.2. So he is really in the neighborhood of his purple lap, and he had draft of Forsyth to help him. Let's see what he gets this time by. And he actually has a little bit of draft help from Julian. Julian stays high. Eckert down low. And here we go. See what he gets this time. Tires should be, there it is. There it is. Tires are optimal warm. I don't think we're going to see any better laps than that from him right now. 224.1. 224.1 purple lap for Rafi Eckert. And that puts him at a 193.5. Only car in the 193 bracket. We'll see if he betters that this time by. $224,285. Forsyth trying this fuel save is your leader. He is turning 24 second laps. Dozhenko, I don't think he can fuel save. He just needs to push and then pit. 24 fives. Jesper Orman 24 sixes. Right in the draft there of Dozhenko. Gary Lovern up to P4. Rafi Eckert P5. Strauss 6th. Salvazzi 7th. Boney 8th. Altena 9th. Evans 10th. Gallas 11th. 11 cars still running. 14 started. Thanks for joining us, everybody, on this morning here. I guess it is, I'll make another NASCAR reference. This is Daytona 500 day. Snow on the ground here in central Indiana, where I'm broadcasting from. But in the virtual world, it is 64 and clear. And Orman got around Dozhenko. I think Dozhenko might be hitting pit road. Yep, right about where we thought he would. Right about a 100. So he was about 13 laps short. Bonnie moves up to 7th. Gary Lovern entering pit road on the backstretch. So keeping it nice and safe. He's currently in 3rd, as you see by the LED readout there on the hoop, on the roll bar. All right, Jesper no longer has the benefit of a car in front of him to kind of pull him along. And he's going to get Julian there. But this drone view is very good. It gives you a wide view of the track. Getting down on these TV cameras brings it rather low, not seeing all the action. Good action down the backstretch from that shot there. I hear a car crashing. And, oh, and that is our leader. That was our leader. We are under caution lap 102, and Craig Forsyth, something happened. Oh no, it's the same thing that happened yesterday in the open race. Oh, and Gary Lover runs him over. It was the same thing that happened to Nielsen Messias. Oh my goodness. Well, it pays not to lead here at Nashville when it comes to a pit stop. And that's might be terminal damage on Forsyth's car. You're going to bring it in, go to pit road, try to get it done. He is a points leader, or one of the points leaders, so he'll want to get that fixed and out there to try to complete some laps. But we're going to have a sprint to the finish here, folks. And I don't know who's staying out. Let's see, they're staying out. So Orman's staying out. Forsyth coming in. I think he has no choice. Eckert's going to pass on the racetrack. Eckert's going to have really fresh tires. And also, because we are now 10 to go, I believe all of the lap cars between Eckert and Orman are going to be told to move over, and Eckert and Orman are going to race it out in the closing laps here in direct contact. Oh my goodness. Wow. Wow. 2 races in a row on hit run race first, where the leader coming to pit road unfortunately gets run over by another car on the racetrack. So Forsyth's still going to be on a lead lap. He's down the 5th. She probably doesn't have a car that's going to handle very well or be very fast. So I think if he can make it last 10 laps, and he's coming back in again probably for some more optionals. Four-door, Dajinko, he is now P4. Strauss, there in that Taylor Swift car, he, despite spinning out in the grass midway through this race, he is now P3, and he is getting the wave around all of these lap cars. Same with Dajinko. And they will move up to be in direct contact with Jesper Orman, who is on 49 lap old tires. So, and I think Julian will get the wave around. So a couple things happening here. These are all IndyCar rules. So IndyCar states that if you're inside the last 10 laps, give or take, it varies at different tracks, that the leaders, if there's a late caution, the leaders go in direct contact with one another. And then also with Julian directly behind the pace car, since he decided to stay out, when the lights go out on the pace car, he will get what is called the wave around, and he will then be able to rejoin the tail end of the field before going green. And that allows the leader to bring the field down to green. And actually, Julian's going to pit to probably get out of the way anyways. But he was going to get the wave around whether he could make it or not. Here you see his bashed in right side. I've been there, Julian. I understand. I drove a car like that for nearly 500 miles at Pocono, and I got the damage on lap 1 by taking the green flag and trying to pass some people very early, and I got side-checked into the wall. But oh well. Anyways, so Jesper Orman now will be, I think, taking the green flag here. In a lot of room. That pace car, which he can do. and he will be taking the green flag with 7 laps to go. 7-lap sprint to decide this here at Nashville Superspeedway. An incident very similar, ghostly similar to what we saw yesterday in the IndyCar Series Open Top Split, where the leader coming to pit road, Nelson Messias, got ran over by a car that wasn't expecting him to slow down. And actually, it was the other way around, to be honest. And today it was the leader, Craig Forsyth, getting run over coming to pit road. So here we go, green. Good start by Orman. Here we go, sprint to the finish. Tire situation for these leaders, 51 laps, 18 laps, and 3 laps. So the person that really wants to get the job done now without waiting, and here's the block. That is not a well, that's a defensive move. It's not a block, excuse me, but Strauss is the one with the youngest tires. He's going to want to get the job done here. So what you just saw down the backstretch, and we'll get back to Jesper here, that is the snake or the dragon, depending on what you want to call it, IndyCar parlance. But he is basically going to the IRL line, to the inside, blocking the shortest way around, trying to block the draft. Remember, you can hold a car off here pretty good with aero wash. There we see Eckert up high, trying to get a clean line, coming to 5 to go. Let's ride along with Rafi Eckert. There he is, washing up. Oh, he hit the wall. He hit the wall. He hit the wall. That is done. He is done. He's trying to keep it straight. We're not going to go caution, but he is done. His race is done. We joined just at the time where he hit the wall. Oh my goodness. So Rafi's just going to try to bring this car home with 4 to go, stay in the lead lap. That gives Forsyth a position. So back up front, Orman now with Strauss 4/10 back. Can Strauss run him down? Here's Dozhenko. He's all by himself for 3rd. All he needs to do is bring this home. He got himself a bottom step. Keep it off the wall. Jesper Orman, 3 to go, and he might survive this. From the back to the front, 2 to go. Strauss is right there. Strauss really drives it deep into that corner. That's going to cost him on exit. A better exit for Orman. Orman trying to break the draft. Going low to the low side on turn back stretch. Down to the yellow line, turns 3 and 4. Exit 3 and 4. Looking at the white flag in the air. 1 lap to go. Orman clean and green, about a half lane off the bottom, keeping it off the wall. Down the backstretch, looking good. Down to the yellow line, about a half lane off the bottom again. And as we said, from the back to the front, Jesper Orman takes the checkered flag here at Nashville by 1 stopping. Nice strategy. And there you see Jesper Orman, your winner. Matthias Strauss with the podium. Ford Dozhenko, also P3, bottom step. Rafi Eckert was there, and he was making a run of it, and he kissed the wall in turn 2. Just overdrove it a little bit, probably the aero push. Does get a top 5, but I'm sure he's probably kicking himself a little bit, just a little bit more patience. Probably would have had another run at him. Craig Forsyth survives to P5. Lovern and was in an incident with Forsyth. He finishes 6th. Bonnie, I told you, he lucked into and I don't say he lucked in, he drove a strategy that got him into a top 10 here, and that's just by keeping it clean and green. And that's all you have to do sometimes with these races. Just keep it clean and green. Run your race, drive to survive. And I love that strategy because it's gotten me so many top 10s, top 5s, heck, even got me a win in one place. So hats off to a beneficiary, Bonnie here. He is P7. Salvazzi P8, Altena He gets into a top 10. P9 gets himself a steak dinner here, hopefully. Jordan Evans at a top 10 there. P10. Gallas, Vandenbosch, Christensen, Kinder round out the remainder of the top 14. That's it. Yep. Purple lap was Strauss there with a 24-1. Not sure when he said that. Probably in the closing laps there. That's an 8 of some draft there, so good on him. If you want to get an idea of what that 24-1 was, we can give you real quick. Best lap. Strauss, 193.9, so almost a 194. All right, we got people in the interview room. We'll bring up Strauss first. I don't know if we'll have Doshinkos, but if he does, we will bring him in. But Matthias Strauss here first. Hey, Matthias, congratulations on the P2. Almost a spin and win. You had the purple lap. You did a 24-1 there in the closing stages. You had a shot, but man, you surely had an interesting day. So tell us, how the heck did you get to P2?
I have no idea, to be honest. I did 9 laps in the practice, in the last 10 minutes of practice before qualifying, and that was it. And then I just hanged on for dear life.
Oh, what happened on that spin off of 4? Was that just the back end came around on you, overdrove 4 a little bit, maybe?
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, the car just snapped on me out of 4, and I was just lucky to not cause the caution and not hit the wall.
Yeah, for sure. When the late caution came, and you were lined up third behind Eckert and Orman there, and you had the youngest tires. What did you think your chances were at that point? Did you think you had a shot at them? I mean, you had to get that pass done in the first couple laps, otherwise those tires kind of go away quickly. Did you think you maybe had a shot at this one?
I mean, the shot would have been small anyways. Both Eckert and Jesper have amazing pace and a bit more knowledge than me, especially in the DW12. So I wasn't expecting to get P2 after the restart, even with the fresher tires. So I was just hanging on for dear life, even behind them.
Well, you know, as they say, to finish first you must finish, and you got the car there. So congratulations. Anybody you'd like to say hi to, shout out to, before we let you go?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to my new team, Rider Engineering. So thank you to them, and for my former teammates Patrick and Seb, who have taught me a lot during the later years.
All right, well, congratulations there on that P2. We were watching you, seeing if you could get close, and it would have been a heck of a race, but you got it there. Congratulations, man. We will catch you here hopefully next week when we go to Pocono.
Yeah, we'll see about that. Thank you.
Bye. All right, let's bring down our winner, Jesper Orman. Hey, Jesper, congratulations. Another from the rear to the front win, up 12 spots. This time in the DW12 with the aid of no tools and nothing like that. It just kind of says a lot to your driving ability to be able to do that. But you had to do a little bit of driving there at the end to secure this win, because you had a hard-charging Rafi Eckert that was had way younger tires than you, and he was going to try to make a race of it.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you for those kind words. Yeah, I kind of wanted a fun race today, and I decided to start from the back and see what I can do. And I just had 10 laps of practice, and I really understood that, okay, this is going to be very, very tough. It was very bumpy out there. Mm-hmm. And then when we got into the cockpit for the first lap, I checked, okay, we're running 113 laps. Okay. So I kind of made a math in my head. Okay, I need to go 57. And from a very early point, I recognized that, okay, I am actually able to save fuel. I wanted to save one extra lap there on the first stint. It's possible. I kind of put myself in a bad spot by going in one lap too early. I had to, because I had like 0.8 laps or something left of fuel. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to save 2 more laps on the last stint. But as things turned out, I stayed behind Fyodor, and I was able to save a lot of fuel. And by 10 laps to go, I realized, okay, I am actually gonna make it, because I was staying behind Julian. And then the yellow came out like immediately after I caught up to Julian, and I was like, oops, what do I do here? If I pit, Rafael is going to stay out, and he's going to have track position. And it's 10 or 9 laps to go. The tires are at around 79, 78%. And when they're cold, you get like 3 or 4 laps where you match the pace of fresh tires. So I knew that, okay, if I stay out, I'm going to have like 4 laps where I'm in no trouble, and then the last 5 laps are going to be really tough, especially if he pits. But he didn't pit.
No.
So I knew he had like 20 laps old tires. I knew that. So from that point, I was just, okay, I am probably going to lose this race anyway. I'm just going to try to drive as fast as I can and get the 2nd place, because I knew Craig was a bit damaged. But then the first couple of laps there, saw him struggle behind me. I think it was in the wall at one point, and I was like, okay, he's really pushing, he's really understeering. Yeah. And this track is very hard, and especially if he's been in the lead for like the entire race, almost in the lead, but he had, I think Julian led the first couple of laps, and he had like clean air all this race. If he has someone in front of him that can take his air a little bit, maybe he'll struggle. And then all of a sudden I just saw him go boom into the wall in turn 2, and he was gone. From that point I was like, okay, Matthias, I knew he wasn't on fresh tires. He had been struggling a little bit throughout the day, so I just from there on, head down and just take it to the finish.
Well, you know the drill, man. You've been here many times on the podcasts. Shout outs.
I guess this time I'll give a shout out to Matthias. We were sitting in the Discord chatting a little bit. That was fun. A nice dude. And as always, Slava Ukraini.
All right. Well, congratulations on the win. Hopefully we'll see you next week at it's going to be Pocono, which we know you're good at, and maybe maybe even the finale at Indianapolis, and get you a couple wins here to round out the season. But congratulations on the win, nevertheless, today. Thanks for joining us, man, and we'll catch you later for sure.
Thanks for the broadcast.
No problem. All right. So that is it. No other interviews, but if I would say pay attention if you're a member of the VOR Discord server. Fordor might have some comments in there that about his race and stuff like that. But that's it, guys. Really, there's not much going on after this. I want to thank everybody for joining us. Again, the podium here from Nashville is Jesper Orman, Matthias Strauss, and Fyodor Doshenko. Join us again next week for round 6 of the VOR IndyCar DW12 Champ Series as the teams and drivers go to Pocono to tackle the triangle. Coverage this season begins around 10:30 Eastern time, and that's 10:30 Eastern, 10 a.m. Eastern, as always. And you can find everything right here at youtube.com/Raceverse. You know the drill. Like, share, subscribe. Let's see, what else? Oh yeah, you want to follow us on Twitter. There's some of our Twitter handles. That's actually from the Monday night crew, or from the Tuesday night crew. But for inquiries, learn more about Raceverse and what we do, visit raceverse.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. You can follow all of us right here via our Twitter handles at the bottom of your screen. So that's it. So keep your browser set here for the most in-depth IndyCar knowledge on all of iRacing. Raceverse, we know what Indy means. So for everyone at Raceverse, I'm Gary Gotzo saying to all, happy Sunday. Thanks for watching, and to all of our men and women in the military serving and as first responders, or serving in the military and as first responders. Godspeed, God bless, and come home safe. Catch us again right here next week in Pocono for the next race of the Velocity Online Racing IndyCar DW12 Championship Series. Good night.